Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a set of tools for dulcimer players, and we're focused on a chord chart, and today we're going to display or list out the chord shapes that we find that you can form the various chords with. Okay, so last time we did the work to do permutations to produce various chord shapes. We haven't worried about octaves yet, so in some cases, like you get 054 is a valid D chord, but 754 would feel more natural going up an octave, and we haven't worked out a way to make that part work. But instead, we looked at the chord shapes we generate, and we want to put them in alphabetical order, basically, or numeric order, and that requires testing, comparing chord shapes. And I think mostly we're okay, but we don't have a good test, and maybe we don't have we haven't considered what happens if things are different lengths or something. So let's start there, and then we'll focus on getting this thing displayed. We have a minimal version of that right now, but we'll get the real thing in there. Okay, so I guess I don't... we do have a chord shape. Okay. And then chord shape. Okay, so some of their tests got us comparing or something else. So let's test this directly. So chord shape is really a list of frets, and it's telling you like 054 is a list of frets. Okay, so we'd like to know, should I put out 002 or 054 first? And the answer is 002 because it's smaller numbers, kind of dictionary order on the individual numbers. And we're using the, let's make sure this comparison here, I don't know if I can jump to that. No. Well, let's look at fret. Okay, so fret is comparable based on the index, which is the chromatic number. Tooks, hey, no, I haven't looked at any of that stuff. I need a new phone, but not enough to actually go look for one. It's like one more day on this one. Does it look pretty nice? Okay, so we got frets are comparable, and chord frets or chord shapes are comparable. Basically, if the first one, well, if the right side is less than the left, then it seems like the left is not smaller anymore, so it's false. And if we get through and everything was less, it's true. So let's add the test for, let's just do a simple comparison first. Compare uses dictionary. I don't know, is that what people call it? Letter by letter. Let's say compare fret by fret. Yeah. I mean, every time I bought a phone, the camera has been, 3 times as good as the last one, and stuff like that. I like pretty high memory on it though, so it gets a little expensive. Looks slick, cool. Okay, let's see. So we'll make a chord shape. Maybe I can, well, let's just try and put this on one. Maybe fret could default that for us. All right. So we can take these off. Okay. And then I kind of want to make, well, I kind of want to make it lie. Well, let's, I'm just putting names because they are kind of arbitrary at this point. First you want to move them. Okay, so I think that'll fit. Okay, so I'm going to keep the first fret the same. I'm going to make this one look like it's, make the fret index smaller, but make this bigger, and then keep that the same. Okay, so we expect, okay, because I guess we expect shape 2 less than shape 1. Because it's 2, 1, 4. This is 2, 2, 4. Okay, and this should pass based on what we have now. At least for me, yeah, I worked with C# quite a bit, more closer to when it first came into being, and it was more desktop, not any of the other stuff. It was kind of a Java clone at first, and it picked up features after that. Well, the delegate stuff, and then the pipeline, what do they call that, with the SQL kind of query stuff. That diverged. But originally we called it Java with uppercase letters or something. I mean, it's a tolerable language. But I'm sticking with this at this point. I'm enjoying creating stuff with Swift UI more than I ever did with the JavaScript or any of the other stuff. Okay, so why do you say you completed but you didn't mark it? Okay. Now this one I want to do compare, but I want equal prefix leaves calls shorter one less. If that makes sense. Okay, so if I have 2, 2, 1 versus 2, 2, 4. Okay, so I would say shape 1 should be less than shape 2. This one I think will blow up. Yeah, I think the only one I might end up having to do some Android stuff, but I hopefully could do Kotlin on that and get by. Kotlin's a much better Java than Java in my book. Okay, why did you work? Oh, let's make the second one. I'm expecting to crash. I'm not sure why. Huh. Let me just make sure that's running. Let's see what we got. ChordShape. Okay, so it goes by left-hand frets count. How can that work? Okay, if it's going by 3, let's stop in here. Turn that off momentarily. Why did that not stop? He should stop right there. LHS frets count should be 3. Okay. LHS has 2. He has 2, 2. That looks like RH. Oh. Yeah, so that has the short one first. So, let's make 2 tests then. I don't know why I'm struggling to get the crash I want. All right. Oops. Compare equal prefix calls shorter one less. Let's see if I can say this differently. Compare with second shape shorter. I expect line 35 to blow up. fret. Second shape shorter. Okay. Let's take this off. How does that work? Okay, shape 1 is the LHS. That should have 2. Well, no, I expect this one to blow up. Oh, no, I got to get this one being a shape 1. Oh, jeez. Okay, one more variation. Compare with second shape shorter. Let's make this one actually shorter. No. How's that going to work? Maybe he's not shorter. Maybe he's not less. With second shape. How about with longer shape, less? The names don't matter. But now shape 1 should be less. I don't know if I can get my thing to blow up. Let me look at that again. Okay, so if I go to the left-hand side frets count, that one should be longer. And the right-hand side fret index is greater than, sorry, the left side is greater than or equal to the right. I mean, I would have thought I had to do like min or something like that, but maybe not. Okay, so if they're equal, if the first one is shorter, is longer, then we're going to compare if right hand is less than left. That's why I'm puzzled. I guess I still don't see why this one works. Well, he does because he's shape 2, less than shape 1. Okay, so let's make. They need to be equal in the front. Okay. Let me try a different way. Like, this is really terrible. You usually get crashes when you don't want them. Okay. So I want to say with second shape shorter, that's okay. No crash is kind of what I want to prove. I think if I say shape 1 less than shape 2, but it's not, so I want to put not on the front here and test it like this. Okay, I think that'll That should reveal the problem. There we go. Okay. Yeah, because I was flipping him to say the second one was shorter, so it was the LHS. But okay, yeah. So this this really does need to be the min. Whoops. Yeah. Come on. There. The LHS fret count and the RHS fret count. Okay. Because if they're shorter, if one's shorter, but the prefix is the same, then the shorter one should be less. Now, it's kind of funny because I don't think we'll really generate this case. The way we're using it, we're trying to only compare things that are the same. Well, they're all 3-string chords, so they'll have 3 shapes, and we block them out beforehand. But this is a generic-y kind of thing, and I think he should follow the rules for that. Okay, so I believe this will pass. No, okay. What's the assertion wrong? Shape 117X is less than shape 2 is true. Well, yeah, shape 2 is less than shape 1. Wait a minute. Not... Shape 1 less than shape 2 is false, I think. Right? All right, let's make that test 2. Expect shape 2 less than shape 1. Well, that's the same as this. Okay, shape 1 less than shape 2. That should come out false. Not shape 1 less than shape 2 came out true. Well, it's sort of like a dictionary. If you have what's 2 words? AND and ANDY. You know, they compare A and D, and if they're equal so far and you ran out of letters on one of them, that one's shorter. And if you keep going for Y, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it's going to make it a later word in the dictionary. So the same in the first 2 frets, and don't compare the last frets. Yeah, so I think this one should be less than this one because of that reasoning. You know, it's they're equal as far as they go, and then the shape 1 is longer, so it's going to be later. But shape 1, 117X, so fret 2, the labels don't matter. Let's make sure that's true. Okay, so fret, this is 2, 2, 2, 2, 4. Okay, so shape 17X, shape 1 less than shape 2 should be false. And then not, that should be true. Test with first shape shorter. Yeah, so it's like bet versus bed. I mean, B versus bed. B-E. B-E, B-E-D. Everything's the same up to here, so B-E is done sooner, and it's considered less. So I think that one's okay. But, yeah, something's not right. Maybe I mean, you can't know the lengths matter. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe there's something. Yeah, because when we do the comparison, we're saying shape 1 first, so he's the LHS, and the original loop only ran to the LHS's fret count, so it only looked at the first 2. And then it said, "Oh well, I must be less if you know, I don't have anything." That's still not right, is it? Jeez, golly. I mean, if you're going through and you find one where the second one is bigger, then yeah, the first one's less. Am I like totally backwards? Oh, RHS is less than LHS, then no, LHS can't be less. But if they're equal, you'll keep going through this as long as they're equal. But this true, yeah, that doesn't seem like it should be right. That seems like it should be whichever. It should only be true if the length of the first one is less than or equal to the length of the second one. Maybe that's what I'm running into with this, is that's not enough to do the min thing. Okay, so shape 2. Yeah, I think that's what I'm coming to here. So shape 1 less than shape 2. Well, we get to the end and we've run out of letters and we say, okay, well, shape 1's less than, but it's not. So, yeah, I think if they're equal up to the length of what they are, then the first one's less only if its length is less. So this is LHS.frets.count less than RHS frets count. If they're equal, we got to the end and they were completely the same, then it's not less than. Okay, so that's a test we need. All right, let me put this back and let's make that test. Compare equal shapes returns false, because if they're equal, the first one can't be less. Okay, so let's take this. Okay, so let's see if that one fails. Now, the 1 in 42 should fail as well still, because I haven't changed the code for that. But I think this one will fail too, and that makes me feel better. It won't crash, but it will. It'll get a wrong answer, I hope. Okay, good. Okay, so now we'll do this again. Okay, so it's only less than if you get to the end. If you're equal when you get to the end, LHS is less if it has fewer things. But if they're equal, it's not less, so it's 0. Okay. Hopefully that will fix that. But that's funny. There may be a better pattern for this. But like you can't look at the length up front because the one with the shorter stuff might have bigger stuff. Oh man. Oh, now I'm breaking the other ones. Okay. Compare fret 2 fret by fret second less. Okay, so we got shape 2, 1, 1. Okay, so that's less. Huh. So shape 2 comes out. Well, shape 1 is greater. Yikes. Okay, so if shape 1 is ever greater or equal, all right, so it's 1, 2, 4, or 2, 2, 2, 4, or 2, 1, 4. And shape 2 is the left-hand side. We're going by the first number, so this one should be less. And I put that in consciously to try and like make it clear it's not looking at this, I guess. All right, so shape 2 less than shape 1. Okay, is shape 1 less than shape 2? No. I don't think that index is the same. Is the 4 where the problem? That's not like only filtering those, is it? All right. Sorry, I gotta read up on that. Oh, I had that. Okay. A for-in loop goes over all items, allowing you to manipulate. You only want a subset. Yeah, that's not the same. That was bad advice. Huh. Okay, I think so he's saying this will only operate on people that match that, but we care about sequentially. Does it do this? So if there's something that matches, well, no, maybe that's not wrong. If they're the right hand side is greater than or equal, we're going to skip it. Okay, but if we get one that's less, then we're going to kick out. Oh, man. Okay, I didn't have this. I'm not getting the problems I thought I would get here. Okay, so this one, shape 2 is LHS. I got to keep that in mind. So this is 214 versus 224. Okay, so the same length, so it's 012. So 2 RHS frets of index is less than frets LHS. For the first fret, that's definitely not true. It's greater than or equal because it's equal. Okay, for the second fret, if RHS frets index is, I guess that's shape 1, is less than, that's not true. This double flipping these things, I should. I think this test will fail the same way. Let me reverse these. Expect shape 1 less than shape 2. Okay, so 214 is less than 224. Okay, and I think that's going to fail with the same problem. But I can think it through more clearly, so I'll take it. Maybe I need to go both tests on that. Okay. Because we're only stopping if the right-hand side is greater than or equal, but isn't it there? Wait a minute. Okay. Sorry, let me... I clearly can't keep these in head. Okay, so 214 versus 224. All right, shape 1 is the LHS. Okay, at fret 0 is RHS fret 0 less than fret LHS. So is 2 less than 2? No. Okay, fret 1 is 2 less than 1. No. Okay, so that's the problem there. We need to compare both directions, I guess. If the LHS is definitely smaller, then we know the comparison's done. We don't need to keep looking. Okay. Wow. Something like that kind of crossed my mind yesterday, but it seemed like we didn't need it. Okay, so let me undo this where thing. Okay. If RHS frets less than that, return false. Okay. Okay, so if the first, if the it, we're on the current, we're comparing our way down the list. If the first one is smaller, if LHS frets index is less than RHS dot frets of index, return true. Okay, I think this is better. All right, you're comparing along. If one of them shows up definitely smaller, they've been equal so far. If one of them shows up definitely smaller, then yeah, that's the smaller one. If now is that. I think we can almost say this one the other way. If LHS did this work? Sorry, if RHS is less than LHS, it's definitely not smaller. Okay, so we're comparing. It's been equal so far. If we compare and the LHS is less than, then it doesn't matter if the rest are bigger, because that first one tells us this really is the smaller one. If they're equal, I guess if they're greater or equal, and then we look and say, okay, it turns out the RHS is really less than the LHS. Well, that's kind of the opposite. They're not equal. We know for sure the second one's less, so it's definitely a not less thing. And if it's equal, keep going. And then at the end, if they're equal based on everything so far, then you've got that. But you only get there if everything's equal. Okay, yeah. So leaving out this, it let you get to the end if everything was less than or equal, but it didn't consider. But at that point, the count is irrelevant. It really counts as to something being less. Okay, I'm hoping everything passes now. No, I don't think we will, because we did add this. So we're going to compare them. If they're equal up to the end of the first one, they're equal so far, we fall out of the loop, and then we say, okay, is the left-hand side shorter? I mean, we know they're equal as far, up to the distance of the shorter of the two, but the one that is shorter length in the rest is smaller. So it's only smaller if it's that. Yeah. No, I added that at some point. I thought that was going to fix one thing, but yeah. Okay. Well, that's let that be a lesson to me. This less than thing is definitely trickier. And I kind of wonder, I mean, does array have a less than comparison? And let's say it this way: is Swift array comparable? This will equal. If your array elements conform to comparable, but we aren't sorting that array. We're comparing to others. Okay. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, I guess what's funny is I think if I'd written it out kind of in a longer style, I might have detected that sooner. But Next time I'm doing a comparison, but it's funny to me. I feel like there should be some sort of a less than for arrays. Maybe this is almost that. Right. I mean, how would you say one array is less than another? And the answer would be, well, if all the elements are strictly less, then yeah, it's less. Or if they're the same length, or yeah, if they're shorter, one's shorter, and they have the same prefix, everything up to the length of the shorter one is the same, then the shorter one wins. Yeah, we're comparing arrays of arrays, basically. So the frets are the things that are directly comparable. But I could call sorted on it, but I don't want to because I'm not trying to sort these shapes. It doesn't matter. They correspond to the string. So, okay. Added tests for chord shape being comparable and fixed several problems. Okay. What did I say? Display chord shapes. See if I can get the year of the first try. Display. Yeah, let's do display next. I think I messed up something down there. Okay. All right. I think we'll focus on chord chart MD view. Let's close to the right for the moment. Okay, so right now we only display the chords that are major or minor because they have root fifth and third. But we don't really want to call chart.shape. So I think what we're trying to do is call, well, let's get chord chart. We're trying to call the one that does the permutations itself. So shapes. So we're going to do shapes of chord and then display those. I guess for each. Well, that's a pretty good guess. Chart.shapes of chord of note and quality. Yes. Shape in. Okay. We got a identifiable. Yeah. So these are going to be unique. So it's okay to do this, I think. Chord shape conform to hashable. Okay. And then we're going to do something like this here. Okay, so chord shape has to be hashable. Why doesn't it have to be equatable too, though? Oh, he is equatable. And is he willing to be hashable? Do a build. Seems like somebody should be complaining. No? Okay. I guess fret maybe is hashable. Okay. Fret's hashable, so it's okay. So it'll synthesize hashable for us. All right. So that's good. Shape in. Okay. So I think we want to say shape. Shape.description. Otherwise, I think if the shape came back null. Oh, cannot use chaining on non-optional value. Good. Okay, yeah. It should come back with an empty list. So and I think this is redundant now. Okay, so non-optional value. Okay, fix that. All right, so this gives us an actual list of chords. Yeah, let's go look at that. Nope. Okay, it gives us back a list of chord shapes, so there's no conditional about it. All right, so walk through the list of chord shapes, and then that is sorted at the end. So we trust him to be sorted in a nice way, and we're just going to print each one out. Now, yeah, you have to be equatable and comparable. But I think we're okay. All right, let's run this. And our hope is we get the list of all the stuff. The spacing may be wrong and it may split up in places we don't want it to, but on the whole, it should look pretty good, I think. Someday. Okay. Oh, it puts text individual things. No, I really don't want them like that. I guess let's do a join. Yeah, let's just put a comma list. Okay, so this goes away. Chart.shapes of this. Well, we want to take the shapes. I think we have to map them to description. Is that going to work? And then sorry, get this out. This out. Dot joined separator comma space. Okay, so take each shape and let's improve the formatting here. Okay. Take each shape, map it to its string, join those with commas, and then display it. All right. Now, again, I don't know if we'll get like 0 dot new line 02 comma or something like that. We may, we know how to get around it because we've done lazy grid already and lazy V grid to do this, because this thing puts however many it can fit on a line. So we know we can do that if we need to. All right. Come on. Okay. Who's got a long list? Nobody's got a list long enough to wrap. Maybe it's okay. They come close. You would think D, F, or G, sorry, D, G, or A would be the most likely. Well, they get 6. Okay, what's G do? I don't know. This, you're working awful hard to find those chords. Yeah, he doesn't have a problem. Okay. So what I see just visually, this should have more space above it. I don't know if we should squeeze in an index. I don't know where that comes from. Like your phone directory, you know, it has A through Z on the side. Maybe this should have D through whatever it has. D through F sharp? No. D through C sharp. Yeah. Just like a little running thing down here and tap it and you'll get to that chords block of all the variations. All right. But anyway, a little space after this and I think less space in front of it. Let's see what's putting that space in. Well, let's take this. So the good thing was, like, this was totally unnecessary at this point because the chord permutation stuff takes care of chords that don't have the right qualities or something like that. So that's good. Fretboard view, padding 12. That's somewhat of a suspect to me. Let's take that out. I mean, I think that's maybe 4 or something might be. The 12 might be pushing it on the sides too. I might have to do a little tweaking there. And then before the title, or maybe after the chord block, let's give this padding bottom 8. And we don't have a preview. Yeah, that's a little better. I don't know if I put, well, is a divider going to help? I don't think we need this, and we'll see. Yeah, I don't feel like we need that padding at all there. The divider's nice. Yeah, I took out the wrong one. It's nice and subtle. but it helps. Yeah. That's with no padding on the bottom. It did. I get the impression it was squeaked over here a little more, maybe. Um, let's add. I think it was 12 originally. Now I read John Reed had an article this week on testing with Swift UI unit testing, and he mentioned somebody has a package for doing hot reloads. That might be an interesting thing to check. Okay, I think that breathes a little better. And let's just check this way. Yeah. Okay. What's this? Did I miss? Oh, yeah, why would actual 054? He's got a green dot. I thought the sorting should have fixed this, but maybe we messed something up in the sorting. Okay, good. All right. Okay, now before we do the octave stuff, let's get that marked. Shift octaves for reachability. That's a good thing. I think this is obviated now. We've generated the chords in a way that they use all the strings, so we don't have to check that. Tuning should allow accidentals. Constellations, I don't think we're going to do, because it makes constellations is if you had a chord like 002, you would draw a line here, like maybe a black line on top, there to there and there to there. But the chords overlap each other. So 0 to 5 to 4 would draw over top of that. And then 200 would draw this and that. So that would look like a solid black line with two wings coming out. It just doesn't make sense to do them all at once. If we were ambitious, maybe tap this and that highlights or something like that. But I'm not going to do that. I think for the most parts, if you're looking for the chords, 002, okay, 054, okay, 200, 234. Remind yourself what these chords are real quick. It's a very, this isn't for, I don't think anybody's going to sit down and just study this music theory sense of knowing this. But, okay. So I think that the two pieces we should do next, this can go away. We don't really need the blank fretboard. But I do want a drop down that says which fretboard are you using. Yeah, tapping a shape. Yeah. Ideally, if you tapped this, we drew the constellation that corresponds. Although this one's a little funny, but yeah. Um, let me add it to the to-do list, but it's going to be um, draw constellations when you tap a chord shape. Okay, but I'm still not going to do it now. But that's a better way to do it. Okay, if we're not going to do it, we should at least not do it properly. Okay, so shift. Okay, I think we've done the identify chord shapes basically. Okay, so chord shapes shift octaves if needed. Okay, tuning should allow accidentals. Well, that's true, but that's probably more important than the octaves. But this one, okay, so I'm going to split this up. Okay. So we'll have a drop down that lets you select the dulcimer fretboard. Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to figure them out. I mean, you have to have one of each with this scheme. There are other schemes where people just use dots for everything, but I like this scheme because a circle, a triangle, and a square, and if you have each of those, you have the three different notes of a chord. If you have circle, square, circle, well, it's a power chord. It doesn't have a third, because the triangle's up here. Okay. All right. So select dulcimer type. Should be relatively straightforward. Let's see. Let's get that chord view out of there. Fretboard view. Tape bold. Note name, quality, description. Okay, this is one chord. Yeah. So where's the rest? Well, let's get this into its own file. One chord view. But I'm going to have to put this index on the side. Now, I think you get that for free with List, maybe. I know I've done it at some point in my life. I don't know if it might have been a UI kit thing, but index on side of list Swift UI. Yeah, thanks guys. Okay, yeah, they're just doing a Z stack with the thing on the side. Well, search text. I don't know if I'm not sure how search text comes, but okay, that suggests there's a way. All right, dulcimer type, chord chart. All right, so here our scroll view has this in it. I don't think we need that. Chord chart. Well, I probably haven't done this the best way with chart here. He's got to adjust when we change something. But that's okay. We'll get up there. All right. So Z stack scroll view. Maybe this. I guess it doesn't hurt if that disappears when you scroll. Okay, so let's put a picker. This is fretboard. And then let's see what they're. No, that's the enum version. It could be. Well, we need a selection. Okay, so let's fretboard. Well, I don't think there's a reason not to do this. I guess I'm going to put the fretboard, then the tuning. Okay. Let's be, It's like they should have names or something. Well, let's define another one. Okay, so the original version, no half steps, half frets. Okay. These things need names. There's no way around it. Okay. And maybe this belongs over here. Okay, picker takes selection. Fretboard conform to hashable. Okay. Let's see if we can make that extension. Don't know if we get it for free. Frets are hashable, so maybe we do. Good. Maybe. Okay, and then this has to be the iterator over the stuff. And we just made it hashable, so that's okay. Let's fretboard control string protocol. All right, let's give these a name. And then we've got to backfill these. The compiler will tell us where. Probably some tests. Chart. Can I just say chord chart? Or is it going to complain that he's not initialized? He is. Yeah, I'm not sure the right way to do it. There's going to be 4 total, at least maybe 4 or 5, I should say. I don't think you're ever going to use them out of the context of picking one, though. So I don't know if the enum will help anything. So how are we on building? There should be some tests that reference it, though, so we'll see. And I'll tag it with its name, because that will be unique. All right. Yeah. Lots of these. Didn't I just change those? Okay. Is the tag what it selects? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if a label on that. Do I have a room? What's... Yeah. what's that called? It's a, you get the field label of the whole thing. I mean, I can just do an H stack. Well, that's way too much. I don't know. Maybe I don't need the label. Okay, so, ugh. So what's its selection? I mean, selection is a fretboard. Okay. Okay. What's the problem? Oh, yeah, it's on change. There's a variant on change initial. True. I don't know if the drop down pops out enough to. Okay, do we have diatonic to start with? Yes. So there's no 1.5, there's no 6.5. A little standard chords there, but like the G sharp chord is no longer here because there's no G sharp anywhere. There's no Fs, just F sharps. Okay, and take this one. Okay. Well, I'm liking that. All right. It's break time. So let's take a break, and then I think we have a couple. Well, let's add the rest of our fretboards, and then we'll start working on tunings.
All right.
All right. Well, let's get the remaining ones. Okay, so the original, the second one. So they added this 6.5 in the 70s sometime, I think. So it's kind of been, well, fairly common for 50 years, at least becoming common. Okay, so it has no 1.5 and it has no 8.5. This is diatonic 6. And I think we'll just put them in kind of historical order. Okay. And then the chromatic, there's two forms. All right, let's get this. I almost should get our fretboard out here. So we need a 0 plus, a 3 plus, a 4 plus. Zero plus 2. Is that a 2 plus? No, 2 is 3. Oh, there's no gap there. Here's a gap. Okay. Fret 6, 3 plus. Fret 8. 4 plus. And they don't really, well, they don't really show up different on your dulcimer, but now 5 to 6 to 6.5 to 7, then 7.5. Oh, thank you. And I don't know what they call this numbering. I'm going to call it chromatic. I think I'll still leave those marked as half frets. And I think because, I mean, the chromatic dulcimers, all the ones I know will have at least a dot around the 3 and a dot around the 7. And usually it's 3, 5, and 7, or 1, 3, 5, and 7, or 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. 7 plus should be 30. Am I okay now? Oh, So I think the half frets will help with that anyway. You need something to orient you because, people and crows can't count beyond 5 or 6 without getting lost in the count of things. Okay, diatonic. I don't think that's the ideal starting point. I think this should be. Let's make sure they all look good though. Yep. Chromatic. Oh, gotta. Two, three, 4, 4 plus 5, 6, 6, 7. Yep. That is crowded looking. Oops, I used chromatic. Maybe I should say with plus, no plus. I'm sure a chromatic player will tell me what they really call them. So this way, this is more like a guitar where every chromatic note has a fret number. But I'm very encouraged, right? Because the shapes are pointing at the same places, and the symbols are in the right places, and the numbers are right. It's telling me we appear to have done these things at least mostly right, not hard coded them to one particular fretboard, but done them generically in terms of our view. Okay. Okay. Let's run that one more time and see how that looks. I don't like it taking 2 lines on those drop downs, but that's kind of minor. I'm sure the iPhone 27 2E Plus will not have that issue. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably have to tweak the text, but that's all right. And that's scrolled, but I think it's set and forget. I mean, you usually you're sticking with one dulcimer. You might change tunings in the night, but most times you're not going to change dulcimers. I guess if you're a performer, you might have a few different ones with you on stage, but you're not going to be looking up your chords in that case. Okay, I mean it's a moderately complex view, but I think it's okay. There's enough space around it. I really do want that index though, and it looks like there's room to squeak it in. Okay. Oh, good point. Yeah. So what is that? App? Is it app storage? At app storage with no exact. Oh, fretboard conform to raw representable. Maybe we should be selecting the index. Yeah, I think we need to select the index. Generic parameter could not be inferred. Okay. Not sure the best way to change this. Let's call it fretboard index. All right. A little clunkier maybe, but okay. How about the fret wraps? Not sure what you mean by fret wrap. You talking about going up to the 10 versus something else, or? Oh yeah, the capo. Yeah, that might be a nice version 2 thing. If I put the capo at 3, I obviously can't play a 002 chord anymore. Okay, so some of these things go away, and then the convention is that you write 0 instead of this, so it's numbered 0, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, good grief, people, don't do that. It's actually better if you think of it as being 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, because it sort of lines up. 0, if you put the 0 here, 1, no, 1.5, 2, 3, 3.5, 4. It sort of acts the same because it's an almost repeating pattern. And then the other one is capo. Oh, sorry, that was capo 3. Capo 4 is also common. and capo 1 is fairly common. So if you put capo on 1, it's sort of, instead of being a D scale, it's an E scale. So E minor fits in very nicely. It gives you a nice E minor. Capo 3 gives you a G. Capo 4 gives you an A. So yeah, I should not leave that off, but so they have a phrase of being, well, some people will say closed chords, meaning all the notes are fingered. So a 3-3-5 is a closed chord because all the notes are fingered. 0-0-2 is not. 0-5-4 is not. I've heard them called cowboy chords too. If you have chords that are all based, kind of on using some notes open. But those, they don't care where the capo is. If you put a capo on 3 and you're just playing a 4-5-6 chord, well, the capo has no effect. It's only for the open strings that it has an effect. Yeah, a very bizarre numbering change too. I don't know why. Instead of just saying you can't play a 0, 1, or a 2, it's like called 3-0. Like, ooh. But yeah, okay. But that's a very good version 2 feature. This one maybe is a version 2 feature. Okay, we selected our dulcimer type. Yeah. Okay. Let me. Okay. Get this back. All right. So next thing is the tunings, and this is my jam log for Don Petty, is my local teacher, and these numbers tell you kind of the relationship of these numbers. So these are all the first number in the scale. This is the fourth number, D, E, F, G, and so on. And so 1-5-8 is DAD, is probably the most common. But you can also tune CGC 1-5-8 or AEA. I mostly play a standard mountain dulcimer, but I have a baritone, so it's a half octave different. A baritone definitely will play on one. AAA would be a baritone tuning. ADA would be another. Okay. So this will give us a starter list, and then we'll add to it. But we have to do the tunings too. The tuning is just going to mostly change what chord shows up. So if we did CFC tuning, well, this would be C major would be the first chord. Constellations could just highlight the fingering or dim the non-fingered notes. Yeah, that's true. We wouldn't have to draw the outline of them. Yeah, dimming the non-fingered notes. The problem is if you try and show, you got to show only one at a time. Or, well, you can't have ones that interfere with each other. Maybe that's more accurate. 0-0-2 and 2-0-0, if you showed them both at the same time, you'd see this U-shaped thing, but really it's two L's, one flipped from the other. But yeah, dimming the others might be nice. The line might be nice too. You could do both. I mean, the line is kind of like when you see a picture of a constellation in a star chart, they put a little line to kind of give you a hint of, oh, this is Orion, sometimes some do, some don't. All right. Anyway. All right. So tuning is our next one. So let's do the view first again. And, I don't know. I mean, a tuning right now is not trivial. Maybe. Okay, so fretboard tuning looks up. Oh, yeah, he breaks up the string and looks them up as note names. Okay, so I think the tuning itself, the tuning name, maybe. Let's make app. Okay. And now what's happening with the tuning? I think all we do is build a chord chart with it. Okay, we do get that. We could probably ask the chord chart. Okay. Oh, let's see. Yeah, let's try asking the chart, and we'll come back to that because that's one of those law of Demeter train car problems. But that keeps us from having to use the tuning name. We don't need the state for it anymore. Is that gonna work? Okay. And okay, let's make sure that still looks all right. Should yeah. Okay, I think it's gonna be the very start. Yeah, body get. Okay, so we haven't initialized things right. Tuning name. Well, that's kind of weird. Is that the problem? Start note of note name. Well, okay, so yeah, I think that empty string is biting us now. Okay. Okay. We're kind of back where we were. All right. Yeah. Okay, so I think the tunings. I think he's going to need a static list of names too. And that's where this comes in. Well, I guess I'll just start doing these. I like how it just makes up tunings. They're guitar tunings. Okay. DGG. EAA. EADDGC. EBGDAG. DAA. I don't know why I copied that. AEA. Okay, and then the other one, ADA. All A's. Okay, so I'm thinking of the baritone. So ADA, AEA are the two common ones there. And AAA. Okay, and then I want to put a dot sorted on this. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now we got the default. Okay, let's add a picker for this. Well, I think I can just do these, right? Okay, DAD to start with, and there they are in all their glory. Okay, we don't do anything with it. DAA, pretty common. The guy I play with, DGD, is by far his most common, and most of his tunes are either G tunes or A tunes, and you can play the tune. DGD and EAE have the same relative shape, so if you could play an A tune down in G, but if you ever tuned it back up to A, it would be the same fingerings and sound right. So yeah, that's pretty common. A little more space than I want there. I don't think I put any spacing in. Whoops. Yeah. But, okay, and that should scroll under with the rest. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this part again. Yeah, that's the same between both. I don't think you can do it. You could create a little method, but you can't merge these two, I don't think. Well, that'd be worth finding out, maybe. Maybe there's a version that takes an array of stuff. Deprecated. Use on change of initial of value. Yeah, maybe not. Okay. All right, but I think this should do it. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I wonder if an array of values. Okay, so tuning. Let's go to DGD. Oh, is that right? Okay, so D. Well, that's a B. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it changed. Okay, so D major 0, 1, 2 is a D chord. So 2 is the F sharps. Yeah, now you had an A, but you have to go up a step to get it now. So okay, so that appears right to me. G A D. Where's this? Yeah, you got one F. Okay, so yeah, that's a little odd here. So in this, we don't have the half fret. Well, normally we'd have F here. Yeah, so if let's get D minor, and I'll go back and choose the 1 plus 6 plus. Yeah, so now you have that half fret. You've got Fs down here instead of the only F being up on fret 6. Okay, so yeah, you can do 0, 1, 1.5. Gets you D minor, so it moves the third down a half step, which sounds exactly right. Okay, that looks good. Again, I think we did the right relationships between notes and between tunings and all that stuff. We've set that up, and it just kind of falls out. There are other tunings. Okay, let's try this first. On change of nope. Oh, I left out a brace. It didn't complain about the first part. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Yeah, he doesn't want... Okay. Zero frets are non-fingered. Yeah, so that does help. It lets... Well, let's put this back to diatonic. 6+. Yeah, so 0, 6, 4 is reachable, even though you can't reach from 0 to 6. Or even though I can't anyway. Like I said, 1, 2, 4 is the chord that a lot of people can't reach. I can just barely reach it. So I think of X to X plus 3 or X to X minus, that sort of 3 fret range up or down is kind of the limit. So, but you would probably do a 7, 6, 4 if you really were in there. Okay. Select tuning. And I don't know how that part will go over. It's like whatever you have, there's one more. But the one that really sticks out to me that's not mentioned here is D, F sharp, A. The interesting thing about that one is even on a diatonic dulcimer, D, F sharp, A will get you every chromatic note will be there somewhere. And so there's kind of a literature of D, F sharp, A tunes. But our tuning, wherever it got to, and let me see, do we have a tuning? Oh, we do. Tuning a string. This is all in our song list stuff. I don't know. The word fretboard is really overpowering there. I'm thinking maybe I go the other way and make this the song tuning. I don't know who references this. Nothing. It doesn't even come outside this class. Okay, I'm going to change this one. And then I'm going to change this one. Okay. That's going to make this a little nicer. I don't know if this defers accomplishing anything. I guess the on change can't happen until it displays the view, and it's got to have a chart to do that with, maybe. Okay. Tuning to song tuning, fretboard tuning to tuning. Okay, so the problem with that D, F sharp A tuning, let's find tuning, I guess. This thing has a naive view of what to do, and it doesn't handle D, F sharp A. Oh, I didn't add DAC? Oh no, that's definitely an oversight. DAC is very common too. It's a good minor. It's a D minor tuning. So there are a lot of good DAC songs in there. Sort of like the original song for House of the Rising Sun, and Cluck Old Hen doesn't always go there, but just lots and lots of good songs in here. New Orleans is a version of House of the Rising Sun, and Shady Grove. Lots of Shady Groves play it in minor. But yeah, it's a nice tuning with a bunch of songs we like. I don't know why I copied that. I got to go through now and make sure I didn't put songs in one and not the other. But you can also see the modes. This AAA is a Ionian. DGG is Ionian. Mixolydian, Dorian, Phrygian, Dorian, Aeolian, Mixolydian. Yeah. EBD was paired with, oh yeah, probably not that either. Yeah. Cool, thank you. He probably wants that, yeah. Yeah, I probably should put them in order. I do miss, my own organization, like I do the numbers first and then the letters are secondary, so all these have the same shape harmonically. It's just they start on different notes. So start up one or down one, Okay. We'll at least do a build. But I think what we want to do is write a more sophisticated parser, basically. Okay. Let's check that in, and then we'll. Oh, I got some tests there that have to change. Okay. Let me go find an F sharp, a sharp. The musical one is just a little different than the pound sign. Kind of goes the other way. All right, and so this. Well, I guess we've got expectations about strings. Oops. Okay, that should fail. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to write something that goes one letter at a time and then decides if there's a following letter. Okay. Yeah, so we're looking for pound sharp. I'm sure. Yep. Okay. Um I don't know if the string uppercase. I don't think the uppercase matters to us. Array of tuning is string. Well, I don't know what that's even doing. Oh, it's mapping each letter. Hmm. So, if you want to look at pairs, yeah, that's true. Um, it can't be a map. I mean, it could be a little loop. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so we got a list of characters. Keep the type straight. This should be an array of characters. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess we're going to say bool is sharp is false. And then we're going to do a loop. Yeah, maybe that. Okay, and I gotta find my right sharp again. Okay, if the sharp otherwise, and that's all I need to do to consume it, it's a letter. We're gonna say self.strings dot insert Well, string name equals is sharp goes to more complicated than I want. Oh. And I guess I should do one that's like D sharp, F sharp, F sharp, A sharp, or something like that. Apparently that's not enough. Okay, as note, I don't know what that UE is. Note is D. Oh, did my test? What? Oh, okay, I do uppercased. All right. I'm sure it's safer that way. Array tuning dot. Uppercase the tuning, reverse it. Okay. I might make a variable to hold that temporarily while it inserts. Well, doesn't matter. Three, 6, 9, D, F sharp, A. Wait. 3, 6, 9. D, F sharp, A. 2, 6, 9. Note name position 3. Did I? How is the 2 wrong? Okay. Note name of D. Note name position 3. Oh, I didn't clear it. Yeah, that's why I wanted to have a non-sharp character on each side. All right. Funny how quickly these intentions can fly out of your head. I think going backwards makes this case fall out directly. All right, I'll take it. And we'll just give that a try. Let's go back to tuning. And we'll add that D, F sharp, A tuning in. I'm not sure where that leaves us. Tunings. Okay, let's go to D, F sharp, A tuning. Okay. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. D, where's C sharp? A, B, C sharp. C is here. C sharp, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, F sharp, G, F sharp, G sharp here, A sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B is B flat, okay. And then B is 5. Okay, yeah, so they're all there. Okay. Notice there's not a lot of ways to do things. Oh, here's a good one. What's up with this? Okay. Something's really weird here. D sharp major. Oh. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So D sharp major, it's not a key you're ever really going to see, but on a dulcimer, but D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, we can't distinguish the, well, in this case, it's D, F sharp, sharp, F double sharp. Because D, F sharp, A would be a major, D major, and then sharp each note again would be D sharp, F sharp, sharp, A sharp. And F sharp, sharp is really the same note as G, so it gets spelled that way. It would take a lot of work for us to get fancy on that. To put, there's another sharp symbol that looks kind of like a fancy X. And I think it's one of those symbols that isn't, I don't think that one is, I don't think it displays properly as a character, maybe even. It might be one of those. We had a bunch of music characters that didn't show, so we had to draw our own quarter note, eighth note, 16th note thing. Okay. But more concerning, where's that D sharp major? Okay. More concerning is, why is this here if it doesn't have a chord? Oh, yeah. Okay, this is an example of not working, or has chords doesn't consider whether the chord can actually be reached. And we finally found a case where there is one like that. So the only square and the only circle are both on the same string. So you can't, you have all three notes on the dulcimer, but you don't have all three notes on separate strings to play. So, okay, let's go back to that. Only show chords that can be formed on separate strings. Okay, yeah, that's I know, I think I should say the chord quality.all cases has chords. I mean, I really think this should be, I think maybe he should call that the chart thing that gets the list of all chords and ask if that's not nil, maybe, or something like that. I hate to have him go to all that work, but that's what this really is. I mean, has chords is really, can you form each chord, not do you have the right notes on the dulcimer somewhere, even if you can't reach them. Okay, so we'll pick up there tomorrow. But I went over, but I'm very happy to have the tuning and dulcimer format done. That's great. And yeah, now I have a function that can find them, so we can solve that problem. And we'll do that tomorrow. We'll see about the index. This one's probably harder. This I think we can do pretty quickly. Okay, and yeah, I think that'll be if we can get these three things done, we'll call it a day for this. I think we did overlay chord buttons, overlay key selection. I don't know what those mean. Okay, standard tuning. Oh, a hammer dulcimer. Yeah, we're going to figure out a hammer dulcimer version at some point, maybe next week. I don't think we'll get there tomorrow. I think we'll have a little wrap up, but we'll see. All right. Anyway, I'm back 2 to 4:30 tomorrow Eastern Time, or 7 to 9:30 p.m. UTC. And thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a good night, and I'll catch you some other time. Bye-bye.